In this lesson, we're going to take a look at Remember Me authentication within Spring Security. Now, even if you're not familiar with Remember Me authentication, you probably have experienced it in some of the applications you work with on the web. Remember Me authentication simply allows a user to log in to our system after they have left. So, for example, I log in with my credentials. I then close down the browser, I go off, do whatever I do, I come back, let's say 3 hours later, and I hit that same site, and now I am automatically authenticated. So this is accomplished using a cookie that is placed in the browser and then used for Remember Me authentication. So we're going to work through a demonstration that shows how easily this can be implemented using Spring Security. The first thing that we need to do is we need to add a checkbox to our login page that will enable Remember Me authentication. So we're going to add a new div with a class of form group. We're just doing some styling here for the most part. And then we'll add a label, and that label is going to be for our Remember checkbox. And the label will just say Remember Me. And now we're going to add the checkbox. So we'll create a new input tag of type checkbox. And then we need to specify the ID is equal to remember so we can match up with our label tag. And then finally, we need to specify the name as remember-me. And that is a default for Spring Security. It's very important that we have the name attribute correct. You can adjust the default parameter that gets sent over when they check this box on the form. So now we have the checkbox on the form, and we need to adjust our security context.xml file in order to provide the configuration necessary to enable Remember Me authentication. So this is pretty simple. Due to the Spring Security namespace, we are able to just use the Remember Me tag, and on there is a key attribute, and this is used to identify the cookie. So we just provide any unique value here. So let's just say Remember Me, and at this point we are configured. Now let's say I wanted to adjust that parameter. You'll notice that we have the Remember Me parameter attribute we can specify, and then we can use something different than Remember Me. But we're just going to stick with our defaults. So I will save our configuration, and now I'm going to restart our server, and I'll navigate over to the application, and I'm going to sign in. So let's use the kBauerSox user with a password. And then remember to check the Remember Me checkbox, and we'll log in. And there we see we've logged in. So I'm going to copy this URL. I will close our browser and then reopen a fresh browser. And we're just going to put that URL back in, and we're going to directly access that link. And you'll notice that I am not required to authenticate, and that's because Spring Security's Remember Me authentication kept me logged in due to that cookie that was passed to the Auto Service Center application. So in this lesson, we took a look at Spring Security's Remember Me authentication and how it allows a user to be automatically logged in when they revisit our system after previously authenticating.